Let's start creating the web page by coding the header. First we create the logo in the left, then the navigation and social icons in the right. Note the header is fixed in the top of the page, and when we scroll the header remains available. So let's start coding. Obviously we first use the header tag. Inside it, create a div with the class of container fluid. It will occupy the full width of the viewport. Then create a div with class of row. Inside it, create a div with class of logo, and go inside it and create an anchor tag, so later we link the logo to home. Then inside the anchor, create an img tag, and refer to the logo.png inside the img folder. And write logo for alternative text. Now let's open the page inside browser. Oh, the logo is too big, right? So let's start styling it. Let's first see the index.html and main.css side by side. Let's duplicate the line count of the reusable code and paste in the bottom and write header. So let's style the header itself. Let's make the background color 777. Padding left 40 px, padding right 40 px, width 100% and height 100 pixels. For the line height, let's write 100 pixels so that the navigation items will stay in the middle vertically, and the text color FFF pure white. Let's check what we have by now. Refresh. Now the header has a background and some style. Now for the logo. Let's write some Bootstrap for classes. Call sex for the default number of columns. Call SM4 for small devices. Call MD3 3 for medium-sized devices. And call LG2 for large device sizes, and one column for X large. Now let's write some CSS for the logo. For the anchor, width 100%, height 100%. And for the img, width 100% again, and height auto, to keep the aspect ratio of the image. Don't forget to save the index.html. Now let's refresh. Yes. Let's inspect the logo to see what's going on. You can see it has a default padding, so we'll remove it, and we can see the logo responds to different screen size as well. So let's write padding 0 for the logo class itself. All the paddings 0. Let's refresh to see the result. Yeah, let's inspect it. You can see the padding is gone. Now let's create the navigation. Create a div with the class desktop-nav and the class call6, call SM8, call MD9, call LG10, and call XL11. You know, according to Bootstrap grid system, these are the complement numbers of the above classes. Sum of each two corresponding sizes must be 12 to occupy the full width. Now write a nav tag with the class nav. Inside it, write a UL with the list items of class nav item. This is a Bootstrap class and we'll use it along with the Bootstrap scroll spy. Now inside list item, write an anchor tag with the class navLink. For now, we just write hashmark for the link references. Later we'll fix all the links. Don't forget nav item and navLink classes. Write home inside the anchor, and let's duplicate the list items for the rest of the navigation items. Duplicate it 6 times, or 7 times. Now let me change the text of the other navigation items. The last one is for the social icons. Just delete the text for now, and let's refresh to see what we have. Let's write some style for the anchor tags. In reusable codes, write a colon hover, a colon active, and a colon focus for different states of the anchor tags. Write text decoration none, color FFF for white, and outline none to remove the outline when they are active. Now let's refresh the page. They're not gone. They're white text on white background. Now let's style UL inside the reusable code. Write UL, list style type none. And let's write some style for the list items. Write display inline block. Text align center. Let's refresh the page. We'll make the navigation items all caps and fix the spaces. So let's do the styling. Write some styles for the nav itself. Nav.nav, display block, padding 0, and nav.ul, float right, nav.ulli, right position relative, padding 0 for top and bottom, and 20 pixels for left and right. nav.ullia, text transform uppercase, font size 14 pixels. Now let's see the result. Refresh. I think the spaces between the navigation items is too much. Let's inspect the elements. We have a redundant padding. Let's see what's going on. The anchor has some padding. We only want the padding for the list items. So let's remove the padding of the anchor tags. Write padding 0. Refresh. It seems it's not working. So write important for the style. Yeah, this time works. Okay, now let's create the social icons. Go back to the code. The last list item is for the social icons. Let's first change the classes. For the last list item, change the nav item class to socials. We need 3 anchor tags for 3 icons. First, change the class of the anchor tag to social link. Let's go to the font awesome for the icons. Search for Facebook. Select it. We need the I element. Click it to copy it and paste it inside the anchor tag. Now let's duplicate the anchor tag 2 times. Go back to the font awesome, search for Twitter. Select it. Click to copy the I element. Paste. Now search for LinkedIn. Copy it. Again paste. Now let's go back to the page and refresh. Yeah, they're there. So let's style them. First, let's style the anchors. Make the position relative. Display inline block. And width and height 36 pixels. Border radius 50% to make it circle. For the background, we know it's white with 70% of transparency. So let's make it RGBA and change its alpha to 0.3. Now let's refresh the page to see how it's looking. Let's center align them vertically. So right vertical align middle. Let's check again. Yes. Now they are aligned with the navigation. So let's write CSS for the I elements. Make their position absolute. Width and height 100%. Top and left 0. And line height exactly as its parent's height to make the icon place in the middle vertically. Now let's see how they look. Yeah, they are exactly in the middle of the circle. Now let's write the vertical bar between the navigation and the social icons. Right after the last navigation item, create a span and write the character inside it. Let's refresh the page. Now we have the vertical bar. Let's change the nav item colors on hover. Copy this line and write the color to change to 80, 80, 80 on hover. Let's check it. Okay, but let's create a 0.2 second of color change transition. We should write the transition for the anchor tag itself, not for the hover effect. Remember it. Write transition for all 0.2 seconds is in. Let's check. Okay, but we want the hover effect for the social icons to be different. So right between the anchor and the hover, write not.social link in parentheses. Let's check. Yeah. For the social icons, we want the background to change to primary color on hover. So let's write its hover effect. Let's check. Okay, how beautiful it is, isn't it? But we seem to have problem with the right margin. Let's inspect. We don't want the right padding for the last list item, so let's remove it. li.socials, padding right 0. Let's check again. Okay, but the problem is not completely gone. So let's check the parents. The desktop nav div have a right padding too, so let's remove it. Let's see if the problem is gone. Refresh. Yeah, the right margin is now okay. Now let's increase the space between the social icons. Create about 5 pixels space between them. Margin right 5 pixels. Let's check the result. It seems the space is more than 5 pixels. Let's inspect and see why. You can see by default a small extra margin is present between them. So let's decrease the right margin to 3 pixels. Let's check again. Okay. Working on the header is enough for this section. But in the next section, we'll create an awesome mobile navigation before start writing code to make the header responsive. So, see you in the next lecture to create the hero slider.